Now, before me here, you can see different types of containers. Starting from the left, I have a container that is marked 1000 milliliters or 1 liter. And next to it, we have a bottle that's containing colored water. The third container I have here is this one that is marked 1 deciliter. We also have the fourth container that is marked 1 liter. We also have a measuring cylinder that is marked 250. And lastly, to the right, we have a container that is marked 500 milliliters or a half of a liter. Now, in our topic for today, we are going to use these containers to help us identify what I'm not ready to say before we come to the subtopic. But just to brief us, last time we talked about capacity. So before we get into our subtopic for today, can you remind me of the units of capacity as we discussed in previous classes and the previous lessons? Good. The first unit of capacity we talked about was liter. 2, we learned about milliliters. 3, we talked about deciliters. So these are the units of capacity that we discussed before. So anytime you are asked to list the units of capacity, you have to know that the biggest one is liter, then followed by a deciliter, and the smallest one is the milliliters. Now, in your last lesson, we discussed on how to convert liters into deciliters. But for today, we are going to discuss and be able to see how to convert deciliters into liters. Therefore, our subtopic for today will be converting deciliters into liters. So this is our subtopic for today. So we want to know how we can be able to convert the capacities given in deciliters into liters. But before we get to know this, or before we are able to convert deciliters into liters, we need to know how the two units are related. So I want one of us to come and help us count and confirm that how many of these deciliters, that is 1 deciliter, will be able to fill this container of 1 liter. Then from there, we'll be able to identify the formula that relates the two units. So I'll call one of us to come and count. So we'll count together with him. That is 1 deciliter poured into 1 liter container. Another one, that is now 2 deciliters. Three deciliters. 4 deciliters. 5 5 deciliters, 6 deciliters, 7 deciliters, 8 deciliters, 9 deciliters, 10 deciliters. Now, as we have seen from the way he was counting that this container that is what was 1 deciliter is able to fill this container that was 1 liter 10 times. So from there we'll be able to identify the formula that relates the two units, that is the deciliters and the liters. So can you get me the formula that relates liters and deciliters from what we've seen when one of us was counting by pouring 1 deciliter into 1 liter container? So who can get me the formula? Good. So we are able to see that 10 deciliters was able to fill 1 liter completely. Therefore, it means that 10 deciliter is equals to 1 liter. Now, why do we have to know this first? It is this unit or this formula that will help me to convert the capacities given in deciliters into liters. So since we've known the formula that relates the two units, now I would want the class to be very keen and see the step that I'm going to take in converting the following deciliters into liters. So one, if you are given 20 deciliters and you are told to convert it into liters, how do we start? For us to be able to convert or to change 20 deciliters into liters, step one, you need to write the formula that relates the two units. As you've seen when one of us was counting, that how many times will 1 liter be able to fill, to be filled by 1 deciliter. So from there, we say that 10 deciliters is equivalent to 1 liter. So if 10 deciliters is equivalent to 1 liter, therefore, how many liters are equivalent to 20 deciliters? So to get this answer, we need to cross multiply. So we take 20 deciliters, we multiply by 1 liter and divide it by 10 deciliters. So how we simplify it from here? You can say that this 0 here cancels that 0. Therefore, we are going to remain with 2 times 1 liter. So, class, what is 2 times 1 liter? Good. when you do 2 times 1 liter, you just get 2 liters. So it's clear that 20 deciliters is equivalent to 2 liters. Now, we can still check on how I'm going to convert example 2. So in example 2, I want us to convert or to change 35 deciliters into liters. So to convert 35 deciliters into liters, as I said before, step 1, you need to write the formula that relates the 2 units. So we just realized that 10 deciliters is equivalent to 1 liter. Therefore, to be able to change 35 deciliters into liters, now we write 35 deciliters under 10 deciliters, then we cross multiply as we did in the first example. So we'll have 35 multiplied by 1 liter and then divided by 10. Now in this case we don't have 2 zeros as we had in the first example. So because here we had 20 and 10, so we are able to say that this 0 here cancelled the 0 here. But in this case now we have 35 to be divided by 10. So from this point we can either give our answer as a decimal or as a mixed number. So how do we get answer as a decimal? We'll do 35 times 1 liter, giving us 35 liters all over 10. So as we were told before, or as we learned before, that when a number is over 10, then it must have 1 decimal place. Therefore, 35 liters over 10 will be 3.5 liters. So 35 deciliter is equivalent to 3.5 liters. Now, I want one of us to come and help me convert this, this capacity into deciliters. Okay, now if we are given 40 deciliters and you are told to change it into liters. Now, I want one of us to help me convert this as we've agreed. And remember what I said, that for you to be able to convert this into liters, 1, you must start by writing the formula that relates the 2 units. So let's have one boy to help us convert this.
Convert 40 deciliters into liters. You say you start by the formula. The formula is if 10 deciliters is equal to 1 liter. What about 40 deciliters? So you say you cross multiply. You say 40 multiply by 1 liter all over 10 deciliters. So 0 goes to 0. Then you multiply 4 times 1, which is equal to 4 liters.
use. So class, you've seen what one of us has just done. So the answer that is given is correct. And how was he able to get the correct answer? Let's see how he started. One, he started by writing the formula that relates the two units. So he started by saying 10 deciliters is equals to 1 liter. Therefore, how many liters are there in 40 deciliters? So he did 40 times 1 liter and divided by 10. When the answer was simplified, he was able to get 4 liters. So, if anytime you are given a capacity in deciliters and you are told to convert them into liters, class, I'm saying that you need to start by writing the formula that relates the units. Once that one is done, you will always be able to get the accurate answers. Therefore, to end our lesson, I will request that the class to change for me the following into liters. So we'll change the following deciliters into liters. So A will change 50 deciliters, B 60 deciliters, C 250 deciliters, D 75 deciliters, and lastly E will change 38 deciliters. So I want the class to change for me these 5 numbers from deciliters to liters. Once you're through, I'll go around checking the books and confirm if we were able to understand what the teacher has just explained. Otherwise, that marks the end of our lesson for today. Till next time.